What's going on? I am Sam Crack, and you guys have spoken. You want to see more of this, the pizza car. Now, over the coming weeks, I will throw in a few Corvette videos here and there. I've ordered most of the parts for it, so once we get them, we can start working on it. But for right now, the main focus is going to be, of course, the 2015 Domino's DXP. Let me bleep that out because I don't think I'm allowed to say it. Pizza car is what we're calling it for right now. Now, if you caught my last video, I've already started working on this car. Let me show you around here really quick. I've taken the fenders, the hood, the bumper, and that's pretty much off of it. So we're gonna just try and pull off everything that is damaged, dig as deep as we need to inside the engine bay here. I can show you other things that I find that are damaged, like the sensor right here clearly got broken in the accident. We're gonna remove this bar, which is part of this front core support right here, which will also contain the radiator and AC condenser, fan, all that stuff. So when a car like this is in a front end collision, it's actually pretty simple to tear down. It's the putting everything back that's going to take more time, and it's just going to take more concentration to make sure that you're putting things back in the right place, using the right bolts. But of course, if you can see behind the DXP car in the distance is the donor car. We've got the 2015 Chevy Spark, same year, same model, same trim level as the DXP car. So that will make the job much more simple. So without further ado, let me set up and let's get to work. Alright guys, it doesn't look much different, but I want to show you what I've been doing for about the last 30 minutes or so here. This is one of the major wiring harnesses to the car. You can see it runs all the way over on this side. It was plugged in to the radiator fans. It runs all the way down the front, and it goes on this side where it hooks into, there's a ground there, but hooks into a bunch of different things. Basically, what I've been doing is, if you look, there's push pins all along this. It's really mounted everywhere so that it doesn't move around, rattle while you're driving the car. Those wiring harnesses are extremely important. One severed wire, like I found over here. I say one, there's more than one, but see how it cut through the loom a little bit during the accident? But one severed wire, which I think I found one in this area somewhere, right here, here's your severed wire right here, could cause all sorts of chaos, could cause just one minor thing not to work. You might not notice it. Of course, we're going to repair this and find out where it runs to, but it's imperative you keep your wiring intact. One main wiring harness for a car, I've heard of prices up to about $8,000, $9,000 on an Audi. That's for a major wiring harness that runs the length of the car. This has a ton of wires in it. So for about the last 30 minutes, I've been dismounting this so that it's not hooked on to this here, the crash support, which we're going to be taking off now, and it will get rid of all of this mess, the air intake. I also unbolted the air intake here. And guys, just to give you an idea of what can happen during the accident, the plastic shroud that this connects to, and also on here, has been completely cracked. That force just breaks all sorts of things. Another thing I noticed this engine, if you look at it from here, it looks like it's angled a little bit to the side. Well, that's because this right here, if you look down at the motor mount, see, it cracked. That piece right down there that I'm pointing to is supposed to be mounted here. Here, let me show you on the donor car real quick. If you look here, you could see the motor mount is completely, there's a bushing inside that lessens the vibration so you don't feel the motor shaking when you're driving. This severed in the accident. Not uncommon, same thing happened on my Fiesta ST, but let's get that front end off. right, here we are. Progress has gone along very well. You can see I have most of the broken parts pretty much either disassembled or completely removed, and there's a lot more stuff than I thought, and that's what will really kill you if you're going and buying all the parts separate, unless it's like a really old car and you can get the parts really cheap. But as you can see, everything that's taped off, those are condenser lines, anywhere that coolant would go in, motor oil, anything like that is taped off so that nothing gets in there. There's probably a few other places I have to tape real quick. But otherwise, like I originally said, the frame is straight, besides this little bend right here, which we'll just bend that right back in place. There'll be no sweat whatsoever. This is something I wanted to show you guys right here. You remember seeing this in the Everything That's Broken About This Car video. This is completely dented in, and when I took it off, see, this is the exhaust manifold, and here's your catalytic converter. This looks to be where the damage was, and it dented right through the exhaust manifold. So we'll be replacing that, which means that we might actually have to go out and buy a part. We might have to buy an exhaust manifold gasket. I don't know if I'm sure Chevy probably uses a gasket on this car. If not, you just use some gasket maker. One of the things that dawned on me while I was taking the DXP car apart just now was, I wonder what the people think at home. Do they think that this looks really easy? Maybe they think it looks really difficult. I'm sure some of you guys work on your own cars, so you can see exactly what I'm doing. But I just want to encourage you guys. You know, obviously most of you probably own a car or are around a car if you're younger. Working on cars is fairly simple. 9 times out of 10, when you have a problem with your car, it's something that you could likely fix with a trip to the parts store and hand tools. Now, there are those occasions where you have to time a motor or do something a little bit more involved, and you hire a mechanic to do it, but I just really find it interesting what you guys think. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the work we did today. Now, taking apart the car is relatively easy. I've been working on this for probably about 2.5 hours, and pretty much everything that is broken is removed. Most everything that I did today was done with only a handful of tools. I used a wrench and ratchet set. I used this. This is an old Sears Craftsman Robo Grip. That helped me bend back some of the bent in panels to remove the wiring harnesses and just get things out of the way. I used a flathead screwdriver and a pliers. That is it. That's really how simple it is. Now, since each and every car is different, and I'm always throwing a curveball whenever I'm working on one area of a specific car, it's always good to have some sort of guidance. The guys over at the dealership have a service manual. It literally tells you everything you need to know about the car, how to repair every single aspect of it. That is how they are able to do jobs that might take myself or you guys at home a couple hours, you know, working on it yourself, thinking through it. They're able to do it in minutes because A, they've done it before, but B, they've got a through Z instruction manual on how to get it done. Now let me tell you guys about a really cool little trick. There's a company by the name of eManual. You want to check them out. Link is in the description box below. I already got my Chevy Spark service manual from them. eManual has saved me a ton of time over these last few rebuilds. I generally start by going there and buying a manual. I already have a manual for the Corvette that I purchased. And again, it literally has every step-by-step guide, whether it's suspension, engine work, whether it is body work. It has everything in there. So if you need a repair manual for your car at home, check out the guys over at eManual. Again, link is in the description box below. It'll help you guys save a ton of time and just get jobs done way more efficient than guessing at them. So that's pretty much it. Stage 1 of the DXP car rebuild is done, and I think that this is going to be a really successful rebuild project, mostly because of the really awesome donor car I have back there. I'm really grateful that that thing works pretty much 98% and has a lot of usable parts and only cost me right around $1,500 for an entire car. There's going to be a ton of parts left over when I'm done. You could sell those back, basically pay for the DXP car. It's something you guys can definitely all do at home yourself. Now, if you have any questions about anything I've done in this video or anything in general, don't hesitate to contact me. Everything you need to do so is in the description box below. Of course, I'm snapping pictures of the rebuild project as I go along, posting them on Instagram. So if you want to follow me a little bit more live, that's a great way to do so. Guys, thanks a lot for watching today, and I will catch you very soon.